Hey guys, it's Jerry, and welcome to another Zomo Lomo video. Today, I figured I would make another video. It has been a few weeks, almost a month since I made my last little update video. And I know in my update video I mentioned the fact that I was going to review Trustport, the 2011 version. But, after I said that, I looked at my channel and I noticed that I had just reviewed 2010, so I figured I'd give Trustport a break and not look at that. Instead, for this video, I'm going to break away again from antivirus or internet security software and take a look at once again Tune-Up Utilities, your PC optimization program, and take a look at their 2011 version. As you can see here, I have their website up and kind of gives you an overview of 2011 and what that's all about compared to 2010. So I went through it real quick, and what I did is I already downloaded their installer. So we'll take a look at their installer and see what that looks like. But to look at the all the features that it has, and to look at the functionality, it's very similar to 2010, where it has your status and recommendation, it has your turbo mode, it has your fixed problems. This overview is new for 2011, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video real quick. Actually, let's see. Here it is right here, the installer. Excuse me. Let me go ahead and install it, see what that looks like, and we'll take it from there. So, you'll see what it looks like as I am installing it. And in case you're wondering, I have not used the 2011 version yet. This is all new to me, so together we'll kind of, take a look at the program and see what it's all about compared to last year's. Now, I did use 2009. I used 2010. So now we'll check out 2011 and see what it's all about. Now the other thing I wanted to mention while this is loading is I haven't been posting videos as frequent as I used to, and as I mentioned in my status video before, I've been real busy with my website, trying to put that together. I have it pretty much set up now where now it's just kind of upkeep and not necessarily creating content. So that's good. So now I have a little bit more time to to post videos. So that's kind of where most of my time has been lately, is to work on the website. In case you didn't know, it's www.10to-pcrepair.com. Check it out. Let me know what you think. I have a forum there. I have a place to, leave comments, feedback, whatever it is you want to do. Let me know what you think of the site. Let me know if you have any changes that you want to see to improve the site. But pretty excited to create the site and kind of do what I enjoy, and that's work on computers and fix people's computers. So kind of excited about that. Finally got into doing it for me, doing it for a side project as my own little side business. So that's pretty cool. The other thing, I got a notification from YouTube that I guess they removed that 15-minute limit. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they do it like a size limit now. I think it's like 2 gigs or something. I'm not sure, but if I go over, I'll have to cut the video. But I think that the 15 minutes would have been a little bit easier to gauge than knowing when I'm at 2 gigs. But well, it is what it is. If I have to make a second video, I will. But just wanted, like I said, to give you an update of where I've been, of what's been going on, and that's it. So we'll wait for this to finish installing. Looks like the icons have already loaded on the desktop. They look the same as the previous versions. So, I guess if something works, don't fix it. So they have the same icons as the previous versions here. It's still loading, so I'll go ahead and pause the video. I'll wait for this to load up, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. It just finished installing, and now the next thing it does is it's determining if any updates are available, and then it automatically opened up this browser here in the background, if I can get to it. Here we go. So it brings you to an overview page after you install it. They open up a browser for you and tell you what's new, what to expect of 2011. So, I guess that's okay. They kind of, I thought it was going to be some kind of, what do you think, kind of, what do you call it, feedback thing, but it's actually explaining all the new features, so that's good. So it's up to date, so we'll go ahead and finish that and see. I'm assuming, looking at the older versions that, the next thing is going to be to optimize the tune-up utilities program for, my PC. It's going to ask me how do I connect to the internet and all that, so we'll see how that goes. So as soon as it decides to come up, we'll go from there. Like I said, this is the first time using 2011, so this is all new to me as well. So be right back when it pops up with the next window. Okay, guys, I'm back. Actually, when I paused the video, actually 2 seconds later, this thing came up. So it's your one-click maintenance. It wants to do an analysis. So it says fixes PC problems, increases the performance of programs and games, and it turns off superfluous programs. Wow, they use big words now. I don't know about that. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and start the analysis. Excuse me, and it looks, a lot like the previous version. So I guess now what they're doing is they want to, do an analysis. They want to look at your PC before the program actually comes up for the first time. So that's pretty interesting. So we'll go ahead and let this run through. Once it's done, I'll come back and we'll go from there. Okay, guys, I'm back. So the initial maintenance has ran here. It's run through all the different registry, clean and defrag, broken shortcuts, temporary files, and optimized startup and shutdown. So ran through, and it looks like it found some problems. Now, I want to stress here, and I know I've said this in the past, this is a virtual machine. However, this is not a machine that I reformat every single time I use it. This virtual machine I've been using for probably been almost a year now, and I don't reconfigure it. I don't do a snapshot. I don't go back to a time when the PC is clean. I don't reformat the virtual machine. Nothing like that. It's a machine that's been running for quite some time, so it's as close to an actual machine or PC that you guys would use as possible. So as a result, as you can see here, when I ran the one-click maintenance, I found some issues. Clean registry, it found 110 problems. So it can clean 24 megs of temporary files or junk files in your system. It found 25 problems when it comes to broken shortcuts. So I'm going to go ahead and run the maintenance and see what happens here. I'll just let it run through here and see how fast it fixes these issues. Luckily, I don't need a defrag here, so it's not going to take forever. All right, so it fixed all the problems. They give you a little thing here to, if you want to do this in the future, you better buy this product. So, all right, we'll go to the Start Center and we'll see what that looks like for 2011. comes up. And again, this is a virtual machine, so obviously it's going to be a little bit slower than your real machine, if you will, your real desktop or laptop that you use. Okay, so this is the interface for 2011. Looks pretty good. I like it. I like the colors. I like the tab setup that they have now for 2011. They still have the turbo mode, which in the previous version, I don't really know what that did, if that actually made a difference. I mean, you could configure stuff, like change your windows to the classic view, or take out some of the effects like arrow and the shake and the snap and all that. Like I said, I don't really know how good that is, or how much of a difference that makes. Personally, I really didn't see a difference using turbo mode versus not. It obviously will make a difference if you turn off the effects of Windows 7 or Vista or whatever you're using, but you don't need an optimization program to do that. You can just do that in your appearance and personalization settings. So, to me, spending the money for a program that does what you very easily can do on your own, it's kind of a waste, but that's my opinion. Anyway, so this is what the interface looks like. I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So looking at your main page, your status and recommendations, as with previous programs, it gives you your maintain system column, your increased performance, and if there are any issues, and your fixed problems. So it tells me here that I need to create a profile, which is also here. And again, that's what I was talking about before, where you would go in and you would tell TuneUp Utilities what you're using for internet and all that, just so it knows how to properly configure your computer. And it also says here that it found 4 problems, so we'll get to that. So right now, let's go into the profile and see what that looks like. We'll set up the profile and we'll go from there. So I'm not sure if that took. Be right back. Okay, so here we go. Your profile window came up, and it looks very similar to the previous versions, where it asks you how do you connect to the internet. So we'll say DSL, cable, or power line, whatever that is. And then it asks what's your speed. We'll say from 100 megabits. What criteria should be used to optimize visual effects? Let's use a balance between performance and visual. And how many days should a program remain unused? Well, you know what? Let me decide if I want to remove programs, so I'll just leave it at not at all. And now what it should do, it should now recalibrate itself here and see what kind of performance issues that it finds. So we'll wait for that. Not exactly sure what this tuning status is here yet. Well, let's see. Oh, okay. So it basically just repeats what's up here. Here it says maintenance tasks have been carried out. That's good. This section, live optimization. Live optimization is fully enabled, and complete the profile. Okay, so here's your performance window. Again, unchanged from basically from since when I've been using this, which is 2009. So it's really still unchanged. As far as it analyzes what it could do to increase performance on your computer. So we'll wait to see what that looks like. Oh, maybe that's taking a little bit longer than I anticipated. I mean, I really want for you guys to see how long this stuff takes, but I don't think you guys want to just sit there and watch a status bar. Don't think it's much fun. All right, so I'll pause it and be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. All right, so here is your optimization window that came up after it did that analysis. It found one recommendation for hardware and software. It found one recommendation for, excuse me, internet settings, and 8 recommendations for visual effects based on our profile and the fact that we wanted a good balance of visual effects and performance. So if we look at hardware recommendations, it tells me that indexing is turned on. Then it asks, well, how often do you use the search function? Well, we all really use it several times. So if you turn indexing off, it might free up some resources on the computer, but it slows down your search considerably, which is not good. So you really want to turn or leave your indexing turned on, since when you search for something um, in your start menu, your search is going to be much quicker if you leave indexing on. Okay. So hardware and software is now optimized. And then you have your internet settings, which tells me number of simultaneous connections that I have established. They recommend that you have 8 HTTP 1.0 connections and 4 1.1 connections. Okay, well, being into computers, I myself don't even know what that is. I just know if internet works or if it doesn't. If they're recommending it, sure, let's go ahead and accept the recommendations, which which is always a good thing, I guess. Okay, and then visual effects. Now, I'm a big visual guy. I like, personally, I buy Windows 7 because of all the different effects. So I don't really want to mess with the arrow effects and all that. But I did tell TuneUp Utilities that I wanted a good balance of visual and performance. So essentially what they do here is they recommend minor or changes to minor effects. Now if I said I wanted all out performance, then that's when they say, well, switch to classic view, or switch to your boring vanilla view, if you will. Here, since I told them I wanted a good balance, the recommendations that they're doing are to change minor effects, like fade tooltips in and out, disable animation of controls and elements inside of Windows, disable animated expanding of drop-down lists, use soft scrolling, soft fade for selected menu entries. So basically what they do is they go in and disable these minor effects that happen when you open up a sub-menu or what have you. So that's fine. I'll accept those recommendations. Um, I mean, I'm assuming that there is a way to accept all of them at the same. No, I don't really. Oh, right here, optimize all. Yeah, I knew that there would be an easier way to just say, yeah, just go ahead and optimize everything. So it's going to go ahead and optimize everything. So I like the way it disables really everything. So you have to kind of wait until this is done, so it doesn't you know doesn't mess up your computer, or it's a good way for your computer to kind of uh, lock down if you try to do something else while it tries to optimize visual effects. So I like the way they kind of disable things in the background while they do that. All right, so visual effects is done. Internet settings, that's optimized. Hardware and software, that's optimized. So we're good. Okay. Now this was under here. Increased performance. I'm sorry. Here we're done with that. We're done maintaining. We did our one-click maintenance and did all that. Now, fix problems. They have 4 problems here that they found and they want us to look at. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so the first one is our UAC is turned off, and they recommend that we turn on user account control. Yeah, let's hide that puppy because we don't care about that. All right, so administrative shares enabled. So it says here, administrative shares allows network access to all drives connected to your computer. Even though the shared drives are not visible in the network environment, they can still be accessed by simply entering, and they tell you what to do, into the address bar. So they recommend that you disable administrative shares. Sure, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so network access to the registry. Remote registry service allows other computers in the network to look at this computer's registry. Wow, so yeah, definitely let's disable that. And finally, your system drive has never been checked for errors. So essentially, it's like a check disk in your Windows system that's built in. It's the same thing. So let's check that out. We'll open TuneUp Disk Doctor. A lot of times, what happens with these disk check programs is that it wants to restart your computer. So if it does that, I'm not going to really. We'll do a normal analysis and see if it does it without asking to restart the computer. If it does, I'll just skip it and do it. I just want to show you what it looks like when it scans your hard drive for any potential errors that needs to be fixed. And when I say errors, maybe there's like a dead sector or corrupt files or system registries or whatever the case may be. It looks for errors in your hard drive or in your installation and tries to fix it. So that's a really good thing to do once in a while, maybe once every 6 months or once a year, is to do a disk check to make sure that your drive is healthy and all of the different sectors and what have you in your disk is running at a healthy status. So we'll wait for this to scan, come back, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, guys, I'm back. It says no errors were found, so that's good. If it does find errors, it'll say here that what the errors were, and I'm assuming it'll have a way to fix them. Or if you do a thorough check, it has you restart the computer, and during that boot up process, will check the disk before booting into the operating system. So that's good. Okay, so no, we won't do that now. So basically, the main interface or the status and recommendations, that's pretty much what it looks like. It's pretty straightforward. It's very similar to what it was before. Then you have your optimized system. Now these other tabs here that we have are, again, similar to previous versions, but these tabs gain space, fix problems, customize well, with the exception of customized windows, all of these are kind of incorporated into that one-click maintenance that we did when we initially installed the program. So here, what we can do is disable programs. So if we open that up, what we could do is disable programs that you don't really need on a regular basis. They're unnecessary. So when your system boots up and when the system runs, if you disable these unneeded programs, it frees up a lot of resources and it improves on or reduces the load that you put or the strain that you put on your system, whether it's your processor, your memory, and it increases the performance of your computer. Okay, so here, basically what it does is it tells you what's running, what's on, what you can shut off, and again, this is a virtual machine, so obviously it's not going to have an all-inclusive list like your real system would. Okay, so from here you can kind of turn on or turn off programs that automatically run. Okay, so and it also tells you what if it's on or off, and what the load is. You know how much resource that it's taking up. Okay, right here, the first time that you use this, you can turn on or turn off a kind of a rating function. So it says here, turn on the rating function for programs and obtain user ratings which they recommend. So sure, we'll do that. So you could go ahead and rate. I mean, is that useful? Well, I guess you could keep track of all the different programs and kind of rate how useful all these different programs are. So it's pretty, you know, it's a pretty good program here that they have built in where you can turn on and off different programs that are running in the system, and it tells you the load. That's pretty good. You know, I like that. You can uninstall unneeded programs. So this is your typical uninstaller. You can disable startup programs, and again, you know, this is kind of like your auto runs. It's good to look at what's starting up in the system, and again, similar to your disable programs, if things are starting that you really don't need, then it would be a good idea to disable those programs from starting up. Okay. Configure turbo mode. You know, again, turbo mode. You know, we can run through turbo mode, but it asks you different questions about the system, about what you need, what you don't need, what you want to turn on and off in the system. So you know, you can kind of improve performance, and as I said before, just you know, recover some of those needed resources to improve system performance. Here you can clean your registry. You can defrag the registry, which we already did when we did that one-click maintenance here. So again, you know, this is what's starting up. This is your startup programs, and it's a small list again because it's a virtual machine. But it tells you it's an optional program, and it has here. It's kind of like a switch. You know, you can turn it on and off. Let's say, for instance, you know, uTorrent, you know, we don't really need that to run, so you can turn it off. So startup is disabled now, just as simple as that. You can kind of switch it off, and the next time you restart the computer, it's not gonna start. Okay, do you want to run Hitman Pro when it starts? Well, I want to leave it on because it does a scan every time I start the machine. Okay, VMware tools, obviously we want to leave those on. And Windows problem reporting, if maybe we want to switch that off as well, we can do that. And there you go. Okay. And you can also delete stuff from here, so that's pretty good. We'll go ahead and turn that off or close that out. Turbo mode. Let's take a look at that real quick. And again, you know, I did use turbo mode in the 2010 version that I was using for a while, and you know, you can use it if you think that it's beneficial. By all means, go ahead and use it. So the first thing here is automatic maintenance tasks. So do you want to postpone these maintenance tasks? Postpone scheduled defrag, postpone scheduled maintenance tasks, postpone automatic updates. So you can kind of check off if you want to postpone or not postpone these things to free up resources on your computer. And I mean, it still carries out those tasks, but it kind of postpones it and does it when there's not as many resources running on your computer, and it improves performance. Okay, so we'll go ahead and postpone updates. Sure, we'll do that. Next, limit connection with external devices. You can turn off synchronization with mobile devices and cameras and scanners. Sure, why not? Not, it's not like you really use them a lot. If you do, you probably won't want to check those. But if you don't really use the scanners all that often, cameras and so on, then leave those checked. Visual effects. This is where you can shut off the arrow theme and switch to your like vanilla classic view. I don't want to do that, so I'll uncheck those. Configure computer resources. So your resources, your MRC file. If you if you check this, it ensures optimal performance regardless of power consumption. So when the computer is configured for optimal performance regardless of power consumption, the Windows Power Plan High Performance will be used. So you can kind of turn this on and it'll always keep it at optimal performance. So if you want to do that, you can leave it checked. Turn off background functions such as media library sharing, Windows search indexing. Again, I don't like using that because I want to speed up my searches. Error reporting, you can turn that off, and you can turn off support for virtual machines. Wow, I don't want to do that because I don't want to mess up my virtual machine here. So we'll hit next. Distribute additional performance boost. So you can turn off rarely used services. That's huge right there because when you go into your services program or software, I don't really know what I use and don't use, or what's necessary and not necessary. So what I could basically do, TuneUp Utilities can go in and see what services are rarely used and basically turn them off. Turn off special encryption services, turn off network communication service. We'll just leave that checked, so we'll turn those off. And then this is a newer feature to last year, which is how long should turbo mode stay turned on? Well, previous to last year, turbo mode would automatically turn off uh, when you close out of the program or when you shut down your computer and then restart it. So now what you can do is you can keep it on until the computer is shut down, or you can always keep it turned on. Okay, so whichever one you want, you kind of select that and then you finish. Now what you're going to notice here is the turbo mode should turn on. Okay, now if you look here, our status has kind of changed because we've gone on to configure other things in the system. Okay, so this is what it looks like when turbo mode is turning on here. Um, it's kind of configuring itself. It's making all the necessary changes that we told them to make. Okay, so that's going to turn on. Here you have disk space. You can get rid of unnecessary files. It tells you how much you've used up. You can get rid of or turn on and off some Windows functions. You can get rid of old backups. You can find and delete large amounts of data. What this does is basically just list in size order everything that you have running in your system. If you see that it's something that you don't need, you can very easily delete it. It just kind of finds those big files for you, which is useful. It's pretty good. Fix problems we've already looked at. And as we saw on the status of recommendations, I think it was the indexing that it found, but we didn't want to do that. But it does other functions as well. It fixes common problems. You can restore deleted files if you accidentally delete, or if TuneUp Utilities will delete something that you really needed, you can go back in and restore those deleted files. As we already did, you can check your hard disk for errors. You can show system information and display and close running processes. Okay. Customize Windows. You can personalize the appearance of Windows. You can go in and tweak your logon screen, your visual style. You can modify Windows settings. I want to see what this logon screen looks like. You can open up your start menu from here, your taskbar, your animations and effects screen. These are frequently used settings that you can open up right from this window. Now, here, what you can do is you can actually add um, pictures or other files that you can very easily change or log on screen to whatever it is that you add here. So you can click on add, you can upload something here, and then very easily select it and change it so you can change your log on screen. That's pretty convenient. So basically, I wanted to give you an overview of tune-up utilities for 2011. Really quickly, I had tune-up utilities, like I said, 2010 running, and these kind of programs are good to load onto your system, do your configuration, and personally, get rid of them because these and well, let's take a look. These programs tend to be pretty resource intensive. Okay, so although they try to improve the performance of your system, the resource that it takes for them to run is pretty intensive. Okay, so here's a perfect example. Here's your interface here that's running. Okay, here's your start center, and it's taking up 81 megs of RAM, which it's not huge, but as you can see, it is the second to Internet Explorer highest running memory intensive program on your computer. So although it does try to optimize your system, it takes up a good amount of resources. So these utilities or tune-up programs will use up as much resources as it tries to recover on your system. So if you find a light tune-up program or optimization program, I should say, if you find a light resource optimization program to load on your computer that is free. One that comes to mind is, oh man, what's the name of it? I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's pretty good on like download.com. It gets downloaded a lot. It's a pretty popular program, and it's free. If you think of the name or what I'm thinking of here, I'm sure you guys do because you know about these programs. You can post it on my channel. I can't think of the name right now. The name escapes me. But if it's light and it's free, that's one thing. But if it's resource intensive, as we see here, and you have to pay for it, well, is it worth it? I mean, you guys decide. Because, like I said, it's going to use up as much resources as it tries to clear on your computer. So if you get something that you could load on, do your optimization, and then very easily just get rid of, that's what I recommend. One program that I use a lot on my own computers and my clients' computers is something like CCleaner. You load that on, you get rid of junk files. It has a registry component to it where it gets rid of dead registry keys, and it's very light. Something like that is good because you can load it on there very easily. It's very light. You can clean up your system and then just uninstall it as easy as as it is to install the program. Now, am I saying don't use tune-up utilities? I personally don't use it. I have in the past, like I said, but to me, it takes up more resources. And if somebody from Tune Up Utilities, if they happen to be watching this or if they work for them, a couple of recommendations is lighten up on the resources and come down on the price. Maybe you'll have a lot more people that will use your program. Now, as far as paid optimization programs, I mean, this is pretty much top of the creme de la creme here. This is tops. When it comes to paid programs, tune-up utilities, they really know their stuff. You can't really go wrong with tune-up utilities. I think it's a great program. However, like I said, it does have its setbacks. It uses up a lot of resources, and it does its job, but it takes a lot of resources at the same time, which is kind of defeating its purpose. So, what is your opinion? Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And again, visit my website. I'll show you real quick um, what the website looks like. And see now, the computer has slowed down, and I have Avast, as you can see here, Avast free running in the background, and you guys know Avast is pretty light. I mean, we just saw the processes running. This tune-up utilities has taken more resources than Avast for my antivirus program, so that's saying something right there. Okay, so leave your comments. I will show you when it does come up here what the website looks like, and I'll show you the web address. Hold on one second, guys. All right, so it's as I said before, www.10to-pcrepair.com. Okay. 10.2 written out, obviously, not the numbers. 10.2 PC repair, and again, 10.2 is my last name. Diecidue, that translates to DHE is 10, due is 2, so that's how I kind of came up with that name, 10.2 PC repair. Not sure what's going on with this virtual system. It's kind of flashing on me and stuff. So anyway, if you have time, let me know what you think of the review. Let me know what you think of tune-up utilities. Again, personally, it's a good paid program, but I personally wouldn't spend the money to buy it and load it onto my system to do my regular optimization. So here's the website here, guys. If you could be good enough to go in and let me know what you think, go into my channel. Comment on the video, comment on the program that we just reviewed. That would be great. There's a forum section here that you can click on and leave your comments. There's a feedback right here section that you can send me feedback. You can also contact us here on this side tab. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's it for now. I think for my next video, we'll go back to internet security and antivirus programs. We'll see what I can find that's the newest out there, so we can take a look at it and review that as well. So again, hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.